behind. Hey, the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky.
Good evening, good day, and hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the show here live with PTN Racing TV with the East Coast Racing Circuit, where we are live tonight at Five Flags Speedway, where they will do battle in their SLM series for tonight's action-packed adventure. Hi again, everyone. I am Christian, the Crusader Striver. Welcome back to the show, as always, here. As we get down to business here, let's get down to the brass tacks here. Here tonight is our starting lineup. Rick Spencer, once again, will be the #1 qualifier. With Carter Casey, it is outside. Number 2 is going to be Brandon Coleman. The 51 is outside. Kyle Jackson, number 6. Row 3 is going to be Brian Doty in the 17, and then Paul Durkee in the 5. Final starter, it's going to be the 4 of Steven Naylor to round out your field here tonight. As the drivers are getting settled up in their positions and their runs, they are getting quite comfortable down there, I would say. Just trying to get a feel for these cars once again after the little update they had not too long ago. Always new and exciting times around here. Here's our track tech talk for the evening here tonight. As a showcase now onto your screen, this is how they're looking at it, this oval shaped design and all that here. They're going to be battling a little bit of the wind current as well, so that's something to keep your eye out now as they go through this race. But I feel as though these drivers will have no troubles whatsoever when it comes to the runs here tonight. It's going to be all about pacing and perseverance when it comes to the run. So they will pace them around here out of turn 2 and get them settled on in, get things taken care of down there. Waiting for their green light to flash on by and have some fun here tonight. The SLM series. Big host of drivers here. A lot of great battles that have been gone through here at Five Flags. A lot of drivers here, of course, always willing to put up what they can, throw a shot out or two. There's a lot going down with these drivers on the track and a lot going down there on the field as well. And they know it. They want to try to showcase what they're capable of here tonight, what they will be able to do. The amount of speeds they are going to carry. Waiting for the green flag to come out here. We'll give you a quick little rundown of the drivers lineup here to keep your eye on who to watch for, whose number is who, and who is which. Just something to kind of give you guys a little brief explanation on who's where and who's what throughout this race. As they pace them around down out of turn 4 this time by, we're getting ready to go racing here. You see the lights come onto your screen. That means one thing, we're going green flag racing here. As now the lights have come on, we're underway. Down the back straightaway they go, out of early gain there. The 31 Rick Spencer Wall, the early advantage there as the 6 of Kyle Jackson comes to a little bit of a screeching halt there out of turn 4. Problems with the number 6 immediately out of the gate. The 51 of Brandon Coleman in the SRT. Camaro trying to do work though on Rick Spencer Wall. He has him in his sights early on. Pacing themselves around, firing on all cylinders. The drivers are giving everything they can out of the gate here, while the 31 Rick Spencer Wall tries to keep out and defend from Brandon Coleman's 51. Brandon started third on the gridding tonight. He's now currently in second. Still at a pay for pitch, still a hard run here from both drivers. You can see Rick, what he's trying to do right now is he's trying to keep more momentum on those straights and more on those corners so he doesn't lose power later on. He knows how to run these tracks, and he knows how to run these Super Late Model cars. Even after the update, he still has a pretty good idea how to run these things. We're on board with Brian Doty as he goes now with the 17. We'll talk more about this later on too, but there's one thing that these drivers are not going to be too aware of, or that you might not tune too much of. It's just how hard it is to corner off and get the right turns at the right time here. And it's so easy to burn those tires up before you know it. So what's one thing these Super Late Models love to do, especially here at 5 Flags, is the caution comes out. Our first caution of the night, Kyle Jackson comes to a screeching halt. Here's the PTM instant replay in all of its glory. Watch the number 6 come out of turn 4, and all of a sudden, you just got a little too hard on the throttle. Sends her on in down the front straightaway and crashes her on down. There's nowhere to go after that. So an early trouble there for him, which will set now down to the broadcast booth. We're going to have a little word here with our boys down there. Let's go ahead and have a word real quick. One of our drivers here tonight, the race leader at the moment, Rick Spencer Wall. Rick, I talked to you earlier, about the hardships of these Super Late models. How much of a difference has it been since you guys changed up from the new model make?
Yeah, I think these are a lot freer. They race a lot more realistic. You don't have to have as much rear brake in it, so you got to be cautious. Probably your brake bias right now with the fixed setup is all you can really do, so you got to just work that back and forth.
For sure there. What's going to be the one thing you're going to be looking for on this restart here, since Coleman seems to have kind of a little bit of an idea to catch you on these toes?
Yeah, I'm just trying to save right now. I know it looks like we're pushing pretty hard, but I'm still trying to save, let him get back to me, and then try and drive off a little bit more, but we'll just see how it plays out, I guess.
For sure there. Well, Rick, we do appreciate you taking time to talk with us here down. Good luck down there, buddy.
Thank you.
Rick Spencer Walt there in the number 31 taking the time to chat with us here. Looks like we're going to bring it back to the green flag here on this restart. The 1 to go has been initiated. So they will pace it down around once more and get things taken care of here. Bring them around for one more runabout here. There's a lot of great racing to be had here. A lot of top drivers waiting to take them down, try to take them on here. Looks like that was not the 1 to go here. So looks like I jumped the gun a little too quickly on my end. I do apologize. Background on hand here tonight. Here a lot of fans and friends and family coming on out to watch the races here, watch the drive in the action here. Great to have you all on board. Great to see you all once again, and hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. I know it's been kind of a wild night, kind of a wild ride, and I do apologize again for the little blurriness that pops up every now and then. We've been working hard on that. You can ask my producers. We've been working hard on trying to figure out how to get that fixed. The only thing we can think of is it's just unfortunately the way our internet is. It's just not quite what it needs to be, or something we're missing in the settings. So, yeah, it just happens around here. All right, there we go. Now 1 to go comes around. Yeah, you heard Rick say earlier these things are a little bit more freer and how they drive and how they handle, and a lot of folks seem to like that, but there are a lot of folks out there that don't quite like how they changed it up so much from what it used to be on the original Super Late models. So all really to me is just freedom of ideas and pretty much how you see it. If you like them, so be it. If you don't like them, then well, there are definitely a lot of other cars running around here in iRacing. That is for sure. There's a lot of great stuff to do and a lot of great stuff to try out. And as they come down around the front straightaway, the green flag will fly back on now, which means we're back under racing. And off the restart, Carter Casey in the number 2 Budweiser Camaro already putting a little boot up to the 51 of Brandon Coleman. Coleman, I don't think, is going to appreciate that too much. Trying to fire back, trying to get back at him here. Paul Durkee now has a pretty good onboard camera of what he sees in front of him. We're on board with him. Boy, you can just see how tight they are off on those corners, how tight they're on those turns. They're trying to get a full run, a full send-off off those exits off that cornering. That's the only way you're going to get any speed around here, that is for sure. As a 31 of Rick Spencer-Wall currently right now has the race lead by about a margin and a half here. But you heard them say earlier they were saving the tires a little bit, so that could be a factor that plays in later on. We will see. Right now, though, Rick definitely looking very comfortable where he's at, but Carter Casey is slowly creeping up on him. It's better time than anything now to bring up the old battle box here. Here is our battle for the lead. Here you can see right now Jackson, unfortunately, way back in the field. He is the guy that is down the most here. Rick Spencer Walt and Carter Casey right now still at a little bit of a fever pitch. Brandon Coleman falling right behind Carter. He's seeing the number 2. He's trying to get up there a little bit closer to him. Maybe show up something and maybe try to give him a little bit of a rundown here. On board, here we go. Brandon Coleman, straight down to the bottom he goes. The 2 of Carter Casey opens the door up, and it looks like he's going to get just that off that run. He will get the momentum he needs to carry through and have at it, and he will indeed now take back over his second place spot. So Coleman looking to possibly shift the momentum more towards his way. Carter Casey is going to have a little bit of work to do here if he's going to catch him now. To the onboard camera we go. Carter, you can see just how tight he's trying to take those corners in, especially after that mistake he made out of turn 3 and 4. Doesn't seem as though the car is being affected or manhandled too much around here. It seems like he's got a pretty good area of play, and it's holding up just fine. But you can see now that they're spreading apart a little bit. Some are saving, some are trying to just push back a little more and wait to the end. They do have a full race ahead of them. As you can see here, there are only 100 laps or so to go before this one's in the books. But that's not saying much. That's still a lot of laps to complete around here. Back on board we go here, Paul Durkee. I'm going to give you guys a little brief idea of how hard it is just to even get a run here in these Super Late models. Take a look here on the onboard camera, the cockpit here. You can see how tight this track is. This is designed beautifully in Pensacola, Florida, what these Super Late model cars want to do, and that's tight runs, short track racing. I mean, there's a reason why people in NASCAR they want to tell NASCAR folks like bring back more short tracks. It's because they're exciting, they're crazy, and they can be an all-out action-packed race. That's why when you hear about the dirt races, that's usually what they're talking about. It's a short track mindset, that all-out mentality. No holding back. You deal with traffic. You deal with you deal with issues and turns. Can't be making mistakes so easily. It's just one of those things that it's so tremendously hard to do, but it's so easy to do in short track racing. Is to get it just a little too ahead of yourself, and the next thing you know, it's game over. And as I mentioned before here, you see how close they're getting to that white line there on the bottom. What they're trying to do is they're trying to center off that exit, apex it right in the middle, and then just bring it straight back up off exit to the walls of one and out of turn 2 and out of turn 4. That's why you're seeing them drift up so high when they come off those runs, because they're trying to build more momentum. So then an apex it almost straight down. It's kind of almost like a diamond position into the turn at the entry. But when they're coming off of it, it's actually more of a smooth oval-shaped style that, you know, Five Flags is known for off those runs. And as soon as you get a good push from it, then you finally got something figured out there. Seems like the troubles have stopped up for the caution wise here, but Kyle Jackson, unfortunately, still good lap and a half down, unfortunately, after his little pass he had there. In the chat right now, Justin Lawson has tuned in. He's saying, "Guts, go Naylor." He's referring to Steven Naylor right now in the number 4, or excuse me, the 18, I should say. Looks like he's driving the old K9 Toyota Camry. Let's go on board with old Naylor. You can see, unfortunately, right now what Naylor is struggling with is he's trying to get a run off the car, but I think he might not have the braking adjustment. I don't think he's got the brakes set quite the way he wants to near that steering offset. Take a look here at his turning. It looked like he got that turned down pretty good. It looks like he just needs a little bit more kick under that hood, and I think he'd be all right. He's starting to get the turns down, though. I think he's just a little bit afraid to really hammer down too hard, because unfortunately the way he's got the steering offset and the brakings in there, it's not quite set the way he wants it to. And you can tell right now it's not getting any momentum off it, and that's why he's falling back so far behind. He's already 7.5 seconds here from Rick, but he's still trying. That's the key thing, is you always keep trying. That's one thing in racing. People always tell you, do not quit a race just because you're so far behind. Anything can happen in motorsports. And we've seen it before here on the show where, yeah, anything can happen. A late caution, a crash all of a sudden changes the game up completely. It literally, someone did not figure out how much fuel they had or the tires they were on, and it all of a sudden just comes back to haunt them, and it changes up their mentality and changes up their strategy, because that small little mistake gives that glimmer of hope to someone else. Back on board with Durkee right now, and he's got 3 cars in his sights, and all of them starting to catch up ever so slightly to Rick Spencer Wall here. You know, Rick was saving there. I think he was doing a pretty good job, because he's getting caught up pretty quick from the other boys here. But it was only a matter of time before he was going to get caught up and back in that run here. Our lap time show to tell the tale. You can see right here, Coleman is just getting him every 100th of a second, every 10th of a second. And believe it or not, folks, in racing, especially on oval surfaces, that means a lot. Battle for second right now between Coleman and Carter Casey here. You see it right on the scoreboard here, and on the battle here, these two drivers absolutely tammering it down out there. Either driver giving an inch to one another. Carter Casey just looking for an opening once again that he gave to Coleman earlier on. He hasn't been able to get it though yet as of late. He's been kind of patient about it. He's been waiting for it. Has yet to find the marks, has yet to really give him that option or that chance. And I think he knows it. He just doesn't want to give it up too quick there too soon. That's the biggest thing about racing, man. You have to watch your moves. You have to watch out for mistakes. You can't just go driving in and thinking all of a sudden, oh, it'll work like this, it'll work like that. You've got to be careful about it, man. It's easy to make a mistake, and it's easy to get hard on the throttle, and the next thing you know, it's game over. Speaking of game over right now, Kyle Jackson's just got me thinking, man, if I just didn't make those mistakes earlier on, I think I've been better off right now. We're going to go on board with him, though. If everyone's at home, they are wondering, Kyle Jackson is a driver, man. He can race with the best of them. We have seen him when he was in the truck series the first time out. I think it was at Worldwide WT Raceway or something like that. Yeah, it was WTT Raceway. And the truck series there, man, he put on a show. I mean, that was a crazy night of racing, but hey, he fought hard. He put on a show, I would say. He never gave anything up to anybody. He never gave anything up on the track. He was always pushing and fighting. It just seems like, unfortunately, though, since he's gone to the Super Late Models division, it seems as though his momentum has kind of dried out a little bit. And he's been kind of in a slump, if you will. I hate using that term, but that's kind of how it is sometimes for drivers, and they know it. For those at home that don't know in racing terms, when they're in a slump, it means they're not getting the car or something in right. They're not mentally there, or something on the track just keeps messing with them. Or in some ways, it's just bad luck, and they just keep running into trouble no matter where they go. Lawson now in the chat saying, give him the chrome horn, Carter. Well, Coleman right now currently is not getting the crow and horn. He's currently dishing it right back as he's staying ahead of him, but you can see any small mistake, any little opening, Carter sees it, you know Coleman's in trouble. Pace him down around. Just look at the size of this track too, man. Great facility here at Pensacola, Florida. This track is just absolutely an amazing sight for eyes and sight to see. Never been down to the real track itself, to be honest with you, but this track is huge. It is sizable, and you know you can see just by the distance of where they're running, that's what makes it so special. You wouldn't think it's a short track, but if you compare it to like modern NASCAR facilities, and then you compare it to like Bristol Motor Speedway and all of them, it's on the very low end of that. But hey, man, this track can still put on a heck of a show and a good run, and they're doing just that right now. Rick Spencer Wald right now. Let's get back and look at the lap time here, and it looks like it's completely changed on him with Coleman. Coleman and him way low on the lap times here. Carter Casey looks like he's going to throw up a little bit of a battle here, though, on that backstretch down in turn 3. Now in turn 4, a pass was made. Carter Casey managing to pull it off away from him. Brandon Coleman not going to take too kindly to that, though. Tries to get that corner into the inside panel there. Couldn't get him. Down the back straightaway, they'll hit it once more. Both drivers in a frenzy of a run, in a fight, if you will, trying to see who will be able to outdo the other. But Coleman gets a little too hard out of turn 4, ends up losing ground completely in the run. Oh my, right there and then, man, that just completely changed up on him. We're going to the PTM Instant Replay to see where the pass was made at. Here's where the pass came in here, right here. You can see them coming out of turn 1 and 2. And Carter, I said it before, I'll say it again. He found an opening. Coleman gave him slightly enough of a lane to get in there. And the next thing you know, the pass has been cleared. And that was your PTM Instant Replay. Now back to the live action right now currently. Rick Spencer Wall, I gotta be thinking right now, his tires gotta be dirting up a little bit. He's needing to get some fuel eventually here. They're about halfway, they're almost halfway into this one here, and they still, the only driver that's gone in for fuel and stuff was Kyle Jackson here. If we're right here, let's go double check, make sure. Yeah, you see right here, Kyle Jackson on the pit strategy road. He is the only one that went in and got something out of that. I believe he got tires and fuel and a repair in, just to kind of get it taken care of there. Ever since then, it's just been green light city here, folks. And just as I say that, Stephen Daler must have heard my call. And he has now gone into pit road here. The 4 is gone in. And now he's left pit road, it looks like. Looks like he might not actually gone in at all, actually. Looks like the timing on our end got messed up. Looks like he was about to go in, but he got out quickly. You can see the 418, unfortunately, though, man, he's struggling. Gar is just getting really loose off those exits and those burbs, and it's just not holding up the way he wants it to, and he knows it too. It's happening on all ends of the spectrum. You know, though, for 7 drivers on the track, this has been some pretty good racing on the start here, and the halfway point's been pretty decent as well. But, you know, you got to wonder and think to yourself, what would happen if we had 20 or 30 of these cars out on the track? And yeah, if you remember, this is the place where, in real life, the Snowball Derby is taking place for the Super Late Model Division. And, you know, this is one of those tracks, man, that it is one of those places that you just cannot help but be awe-inspired about and like so much, because this is where even NASCAR drivers today go. I know Kyle Busch ran here. I believe Chase Elliott was here with that Snowball Derby. Trying to think who else we had around here. I think it was mainly those two, I think, is what we had. You guys can tell me in the comments section who else we had around here that was a major player from NASCAR. But obviously there was a vast majority of Super Late Model drivers here that are just trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get some big wins in here, trying to make them more presence felt. Some of the biggest names in racing in general have come here. Obviously, you know, Harvick's been here. We know the Busch brothers have been here. Kyle Jackson, though, looks like he was about to go somewhere else. He about lost some way in the turn 2 there. Got a little loose from sideways, but managed just to bring it back. They may be a little more free-willed on those cars, but they are not holding up the way I think he wants it to here. That is for sure. Thanks to those that have still tuned in with us and joined us all in. Appreciate you guys always coming out. And hoping you all enjoy the show still, even every now and then. It's definitely a lot of work just to get time to come out here and be able to call these races and call the action here, obviously. And the drivers appreciate you guys just giving them that support as well. They definitely needed all the hard work they do. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes most folks don't know about or they don't understand, whether it be with us here at PT Racing TV or it be in the league series. And there's a lot of work these guys put in, time out. And it's crazy, man. They do everything they can. It's just one of those things. But, you know, that's the beauty of motorsports is you put in that work and you enjoy it. And that's really all that matters. Well, Brandon Coleman, after that run he had earlier, he's been struggling a little bit to keep up with the momentum and keep up with the position here. Kyle Jackson having to do a little bit of workaround with Stephen Naylor here. Naylor making a little bit of a lost ground, and Kyle Jackson makes him pay for it. Jackson takes over the 6th spot, so he's no longer down in the 7th. Brian Doty here and Paul Durkee going to go a little bit with war here. The old Pitbull number five there to deal with the 17 machine right behind him. Doty's one of those guys too, man. Like you just know he's a good driver, but unfortunately he just kind of gets caught up in the bad situations or in trouble areas, and he's just looking to kind of break free from that. And I think, in my opinion, he's done a great job about it. He's been very calm, cool, and collective, and really showcased what he's capable of, what he'll do. It's just the hard part is he just has a little bit of trouble to kind of get that free range, that free run he's been looking for. Running back down around the back straightaway still, you can see Rick Spencer Wall. He's got a pretty good run and a half there from Carter Casey. About a second on him right now at the moment, which doesn't seem like a lot, but that's a lot of time when it comes to trying to catch up to somebody that's not burning their tires up at all. Brandon Coleman, you know, you give him credit where credit's due. The guy's been fighting hard all day long. He's been doing what he can keep up with these boys and keep up on a day-to-day basis, but that's one of the biggest things that you don't see a lot of or enough of, in my opinion. It's just how much work do they have to put in. Oh my, that's a camera angle if I ever saw one. Carter Casey coming out of turn 4. He got tagged and a half there from Coleman. Coleman was trying to stay on line, stay and run, try to gain something up on Rick Spencer Wall. Rick has yet to go into pit road, and you know he said he was trying to save up. He was going to do what he had to, but I didn't realize he was going to do it all the way like that. Looks like there might have been some troubles there for Paul Durkee there coming out of that corner. We're going to take a look at the PTM Instant replay here and see if we can get a good look at that. Yeah, there was actually. Here is a PTM Instant replay in all of its glory. You're going to see it right here coming out of turn 2, I believe. Kind of brought it in, and actually it was going in turn 3 and down to 4, and here's where the trouble started. Manages to save it, smoked the tires up a little bit and got a little smoky under the hood, but car is okay, Paul's okay. I think he's just trying to look for a place to hide at this point. So only the one caution tonight here so far, and Rick Spencer Wall has literally gained up ground more and more from Brandon Coleman. He's about 2 seconds ahead. Kyle Jackson, Stephen Naylor falling behind now. How about this? Kyle Jackson at 6, man. He's finally starting to get a little bit of a run on him. Starting to make up the position, starting to make up some run here too. I think Coleman's just waiting for Rick to go into pit road. That's when he will initiate his pit stop. And you know, I think there's one thing that a lot of people do not mention enough of in these broadcasts, do not mention in general when they call the action here with these cars especially, is the overwhelming abuse and use of fuel. Like, tires are one thing, but man, I'm going to tell you something right now. Fuel is probably the biggest killer and probably the biggest pain in the butt to figure out when it comes to running these kind of cars and kind of these tracks and everything. Because normally when you're running in NASCAR or Heat, or you're running on project cars or something like that, you don't necessarily have to worry about that too much. Like, it gives you an idea on how many laps you'll have, what you have to work with, and what what it'll all boil down to. In iRacing, you have a set fuel limit you're gonna get right out of the gate. Whether it be 100% to 50% or all that, but when you're getting fuel, you can choose how many gallons you take in, which then gives you a proxy of how many laps you get with it. But here's the thing. Even with that, when you're driving in as hard as you do and burning up the fuel as quick as you do, it's very easy to forget that you're burning fuel up when you're driving as hard as you are on those corners and driving them off. It's not just the tires you got to worry about, it's that fuel run as well. And that's the thing I think a lot of people out there do not fully understand or do not fully comprehend very well when they are watching these shows and these actions. Anytime they rev up those engines, they rev up those tires, yeah, they're burning the tires up, but the fuel is just as important, because they are dealing with the added pressure of, okay, if I take so-and-so at a certain time, I can last out the race, but if a caution comes out, their run that they had is all of a sudden gone completely, and they have nothing left they can work with. It's a scary thought, and it's a scary idea, but that's the beauty of this. That's why it's legit simulation. Like that's designed to do that to you. That's designed to give the drivers and the fans at home a perspective on what they have to deal with time in and time out, while trying to add a very big sense of realism to it, as Carter Casey now has taken the race lead away. Lawson right now in our chat saying, good strategy, Carter. In on those faster tires. Yep, he's right about that. And he's going to cash in indeed. He does take the race lead away. So Carter Casey will be the first time tonight, I can say it out loud, say it from the bottom of my heart, and say it with pride, is your new leader. And the producer's obviously doing my thing and just kind of helping me out a little bit. So Carter right now has the race lead. Brandon Coleman kind of staying ahead of Rick Spencer-Wall. Rick right now, he's trying to find a way to get back at him here. That's a 7-second gap there right between Carter Casey and Brandon Coleman at the moment. That's a huge gap in terms of racing here. That's gonna hurt him. Rick knows that he's trying to push and trying to shove a little bit to get back up to the front, but he's not gonna take Coleman out. He knows it, but he's found an opening here around out of turn 1 and 2. Both drivers side by side there out of turn 2, but it is Rick who manages to gain the ground off of Coleman. Coleman had nothing for him there. Now can Wall catch back up to Carter? That's going to be the big thing. We're back on board with him. Six and a half seconds here. Carter Casey right now in the race lead, but he is losing ground quickly. But is there enough time though for Rick to catch him? Because right now there are about 30 laps left to go. Carter is in the driver's seat. Now he needs to stay focused and not think about fuel or the tires. He just needs to make sure he controls his turning and controls the rhythm. He knows Rick will come for him, but he knows if he can stay in that run and stay nice consistent, he will have this one in the bag. He made a smart move with that pit strategy, and like Lawson said, those fresh tires helped save him out. Excellent strategy and brilliant strategy, in my opinion, on Carter here to be able to do that kind of position and kind of take that chance to go into pit road when he did, because Rick went in a lot later. And to be honest with you, I think it might have been a little too late. I know, granted, there's still 30 laps left to go. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, the problem is just when you think about it, Coleman was blocking Spencer for a couple laps there. So any ground or any position that Rick was trying to gain, he didn't get it right away. He lost a lot of it off that spot. We're going to go on board here with Brandon Coleman. Here you can see how hard that track has took a beating from these drivers. It's slick. It's got all that rubber on the track there as well. Someone asked me earlier on, does the rubber affect the drivers in the speedways here for these asphalt circuits? And the answer to that is very much yes. It's just like dirt when it comes to the track burning up. If that track goes and you see the slick build up, that means the track is slicking up slightly here, and it's not as grippy, but it can also be a little more slippery. And if you're not careful, that's really what's going to hurt you later on. So really, it's all about keeping up with the position, keeping up with the zone, and how you set that car up for the long term. It can get more grip from the slick, or it can lose a lot of grip from the slick. That's really the biggest issue around here. But yes, that black pavement is a bit of a help, but it's also a bit of a nuisance. It all depends on how you set the car up and how you design your style around. 4.5 seconds here right now. Carter Casey still ahead by a good margin of error here. Here is our little lap time zone here. You can see Rick, man, he is just hammering down. 10th after 10th after 10th after 10th after 10th, and you can do the math here. He was about 4 seconds back. He's about 4 seconds back right now. He has a good chance to catch him if he keeps going the way he is. And that right there, folks, 2/10. Time is starting to run out here. Carter needs to stay focused here because right now Spencer's got a good chance to catch him. What you got to also be wondering is Carter just slowing down just a little bit to give Spencer that idea that he might be giving him that opportunity, giving him that chance. You know, that's one thing they don't talk about around here is mind games. And I mean, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. I play a lot of mind games when I'm on my dirt, when I'm in my dirt stock on those restarts if I'm the race leader, because I always like to try to get into the head of the driver to go ahead of me on the restart. So they have to, so right as they're about to go green, they back off, and the next thing you know, it's going off. It's not exactly the most friendly gentleman's duel gesture, if you will, but as they go Sand Racing, there's always one thing or another to go about and try to make your opponent work for it, but the 5-hour Paul Durkee, oh my, boy, he had to work for that one there, man. He went right into the wall protection out of turn 2. Almost sent her upside down on her lid, but man, he is able to save it and bring it back to life, and that Pitbull JBL number 5 Ford Fusion is A-okay. They got out thinking probably right now in his mind, he's thinking, God, what did I just do? Didn't get into Carter Casey though. Carter was able to stay clear of trouble and stay out of the way. On the scoreboard right now, you see final laps coming in. 21 remain. Carter Casey by a big margin of error here is just completely running away from the field here. Steven Naylor right now, well, he may be a couple laps down at the moment, but give credit where credit's due to the man. He is not quitting. He's going to give her everything she's got, and it looks like he's going to still try. Kyle Jackson right now in the 6th, way behind the field, but he's still at it here. Brian Doty had a little bit of company there with Rick Spencer Wall, and right now Rick Spencer Wall sees the 5 of Paul Durkee go way up there and almost into the wall protection yet again, but managed to get a clean pass out of him. Take a look at the distance right now between these two drivers. You see the white there coming out of halfway of turn 4. And then you see that big black car right there on our camera screen, Carter Casey. That's the distance right now. He has the race lead on. Can Rick catch him? Running on laps. He's got to be flooring this thing beyond belief right now. We gotta get it. Give me an idea of what he's doing right now, the producers. Let's see what he's got. Oh yeah, you can see the time. Well, wait a minute. Oh no. Caution comes out, and that might have been the opening Rick was looking for all night long. Oh my. There's troubles down there, Paul Durkee, unfortunately. The troubles just continue to persist and continue to grow. We're going to the PTM Instant Replay to find out what happened here. Here is a PTM Instant Replay in all of its glory. Looks like Steven Naylor actually got loose off that and coming around that back straightaway, and the next thing you know, the 5 ended up actually just coming to a stop. I'm not really sure what happened to Naylor there, but he almost tags Kyle Jackson. Taking another look at it from another angle here. See if we can get a better idea of what happened here. We'll talk with the drivers here in a minute and get their thoughts and feelings on this restart, but here coming out of turn 2. Yeah, Naylor just got a little too hard on the throttle and ends up going to the wall protection. Damage to the left side, and problems persist. You see Jackson, he's trying to stay out of the way of Naylor. Naylor is trying to find a way to get out of that spot he didn't want to be in. Well, this completely just changes up the game completely now, doesn't it, folks? So this will almost be like a green-white checkered finish, if you will, on our end here. Let's go ahead and take it down, though, with our boys. All right, right now down here with us real quick, this is Brandon Coleman in the 51. And Brandon, yeah, I wasn't expecting a yellow flag of all things to come out this late in the race. I don't think you were either, but are you going to use this to your advantage now?
Oh yeah, man. I was hoping for it. I wasn't expecting it, but I was hoping for it. I think we got something for them.
You definitely seem like you do indeed. Now, Carter and you were battling pretty hard earlier on, and Rick, when you two were together, it seemed like you two were always kind of at it as well. Was there anything really just mentally that you thought, like, well, I don't want to get too tight or too hard on them and try to get spinned around or have them get spinned?
No, not really, man. We've been racing together long enough that we kind of know each other's limits and able to race each other pretty hard and know when to give up the position. We're pretty clean. I don't want to see nobody get wrecked, so.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Coleman, we do appreciate you taking time to talk with us here. Good luck on this restart, my friend.
Thank you.
Brandon Coleman there in the 51 taking the time to talk with us here. We'll now head it down real quick and talk with our guy, Kyle Jackson here. And Kyle, I know it hasn't been the best night for you, but hey, man, you're still fighting, so that's something most people, you can say over most people.
Yeah, I'm trying. I had too much rear brake from qualifying and spun out on the first lap, but just trying to get my lap back here and try and get in the hunt here.
Sure there. Bottom line, do you think on this restart, do you think maybe there might be any changes in position for the lead?
Yeah, I know Cat is on all the tires here, or Carter Casey, so I'm hoping he doesn't spin the tires here and I can just follow Walt.
Definitely there. Well, Kyle, we're going to get you back in. Good luck on this race, brother.
All right, thank you.
Kyle Jackson looking to end the race on a high note right now as the driver. They're going to come around out of turn 4. We're around green flag racing here on that restart, and you heard him just say they didn't want to spin the tires, but Rick Spencer Walt spins them, and all of a sudden the game plan completely just changes around. Rick, all of a sudden, all that momentum and all that time he had gained, completely lost. Oh my. Well, we're going to go back and look at that one in a little bit, but I am beyond stunned, beyond belief. Carter Casey right now, I think he just got a gift from God because he is just hit for the Lord of Speed anyway, because he got lucky with that one because Spencer had tires and had a better of a fresher set on him. But the good news for him is he's got Brandon Coleman a little bit of ways here. Kyle Jackson trying to possibly make one last big maneuver to get around and get his lap back and maybe get lucky for a yellow flag here. Brandon now down out of turn 1, down into turn 2. Here it looks like he's got a little bit of a run coming up there on Carter. Carter's in trouble. Carter was in earlier on. Coleman is on a fresher set. And this could be the opening he was looking for. They're bringing it hard off there. They get pushed down to Jackson there now. Coleman looks like he's got something coming here out of turn, back into the run. He's looking for an opening, anything. These two have given up openings all day long to each other. Here you see Brian Doty getting a little up close and personal there to Kyle Jackson, but no contact was made. This is hard racing at its finest and short track racing at its best here. Coleman looking for an opening. Now he sees it, but he didn't have enough time to get to Doty. He didn't have enough time. He got him to the door there, but it wasn't enough. Carter Casey manages to defend him off. Little bob there from Coleman. Oh, 5 laps remain here, folks, and if you ain't watching this live right now, you're missing out. That's why you better keep an eye out for these things. Carter Casey right now is starting to run away the slightest bit. Coleman needs a little more push. I think he might have overdid it on the restart. How bad are the tires and how bad did he burn it in? Because he knows he overdrove it slightly and it hurt him more than I think he realizes. All it took was that one little bobble, that one little mistake, and next thing you know, it completely changes. But he's not done yet. You can see how tight he is taking that corner, and he is getting to the point where he could literally scrape the wall and create a little sparkler system around here. 2 laps to go now. Coleman trying everything he can, looking for an opening, looking for something, anything. Carter has the race lead. But by how much? Because he lost about a 1/10 off that one. Down to the white flag this time by. Here we go out of turn 4. This is where the drag race is going to come into play. Carter needs to keep the momentum alive out of those corners, keep it up on the back straightaway because Coleman is going to full on send it if he can. Down they go, down the back straightaway. They're going to come to a close finish here, down on turn 3, down turn 4. And Carter Casey is going to hold up Brandon Coleman to gain another victory here at Five Flags Speedway. A tremendous race and a finish that I don't think most people were even expecting. But make no bones about it, folks. We have crowned our race winner here tonight. Carter Casey in the Budweiser number 2 will be the man. And he will once again take his trip to victory lane. Lawson, you were right about one thing, man. He had played good strategy all night long. He was playing it smart all day. And right there, man, he did everything he had to win this one. But I think we have a little unfinished business to figure out. I did say earlier on, we were going to go back and look at this. Let's look at the restart. What happened here? Well, there's our answer. Spencer just got a little too hard on the throttle. I think he brought it down the slightest bit. Coleman and him getting into it, and I'm surprised that flagman was still waving that flag the way he did when he saw that. But nevertheless, unfortunately, it may not have been Rick's night, but there's one thing for sure. He'll get it back eventually. We know him too well. The final race results are coming in now. Carter Casey is your race winner. Second's going to go to Brandon Coleman. Third is going to go to Brian Doty. Fourth to, unfortunately, Rick Spencer Wall for what happened there on the restart. Kyle Jackson will get 5th. 6th to Stephen Naylor. And Paul Durkee rounds out the top 7 here tonight. You can't even see nothing. He just smoked the tires up completely. You think maybe he's a little happy down there. He seems to be happy with that finish at least. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's take it down now and talk with our third place finisher here tonight, Mr. Brian Doty. And Brian, first off, congratulations, man, on our third place finish and sticking out to the end. That was probably, I mean, you were the hard charger of the night too, so that's all, obviously that's going to be probably meaningful a little bit to you here in this case.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I was running as hard as I could. The lap car up there, he kind of held me up a little bit there at the end. I thought maybe I get to Brandon, or maybe I could have passed him. Hopefully got around him maybe for second. But overall, it was a good race, and I was just trying my hardest. This is a tricky track to run. It gets really greasy out there on some old tires too. So it's had some good runs with Paul, but me and Paul was kind of duking it out for a little bit. So overall, in that, I had some fun, man. It was good racing.
Definitely in there, man. We were catching a little bit as time was going on throughout this race and all the battles here that you guys put on. It was a good show, I would say. But at the end of the day, man, still a third place finish. You had to work for that one, so I got to ask you, who do you want to thank you for this one?
I want to thank Brandon, you guys for putting this on, and let me thank Riddle Tractor out of Winston-Salem for they're going to be sponsoring me a little bit this year if I get back in my car. So Walkertown Mill. So shout out to them guys. So.
For sure that, Brian. Congratulations on third place finish, man. Great to see you back in the booth.
All right, appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Doty in the number 17, your third place finisher here tonight, as we now take it down to the second place finisher here, Brandon Coleman. We just talked to them a minute ago here, folks. We're going to talk with them again. Brandon, first off, congratulations on a second place finish. I mean, what a run you had there with Carter Casey. And just, unfortunately, that one little bobble, that one little tick you had, it just cost you. But talk me through that one, brother.
Yeah, man, it was fun. That's for sure. I got into it a little too much coming out of the turn, trying to get to him, and was hoping I could get to his back bumper and do a little bump and run, but didn't want to wreck him and got up out of it too quick, and it cost me. So
it did cost you, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's too much respect between you guys and everyone that goes down on that track, and I think that's honestly one of the main things folks really need to realize, that it's maybe a sport that you guys are trying to run hard in, but there's still a lot of respect between everybody, and there's still a lot of sportsmanship that comes around here that nobody wants to, mess anybody up on.
Right.
So, But nevertheless, Coleman, man, still second place finish. That's nothing to sneeze at, especially on a track like this with so much history, and you kind of march yourself into it. So I gotta ask you, who do you want to thank you for this one?
I want to thank Rick LePage for the paint job, and thank you guys for putting it on.
For sure there. Brandon, we do appreciate being back down here in the booth tonight. Congratulations on a second place finish, and hope you guys enjoy the show afterwards.
Thanks, man. You too.
Absolutely. Your second place finisher here tonight, Brandon Coleman in the number 51. And now let's take it down to Five Flags Speedway's race winner here tonight. That number 2 right there, Mr. Carter Matt Casey, and he is now joining me here in victory lane. And Carter, oh boy, you had some work to do now tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a handful with that car in this track. This track is extremely difficult to manage, and turn 4 was sort of my enemy there, and I fenced it a little bit on the front stretch early in the run. Kind of got my tires back together. Me and Brandon had one heck of a battle early in the race, and at the end of the race there, man, that was a handful, definitely.
For sure there. I mean, we had some folks in the chat here. They were catching on to what you were doing down here, but man, I would say my biggest thing I saw tonight was just how well you were under control in that restart. Was at any point did you think that Rick Spencer Watt was going to catch you on that restart once you guys went back under green?
Yeah, I thought for sure he was going to get to the inside there, but I don't know if he spun the tires. I had to go back and watch the replay, but that restart, I was not happy about the restart being on old tires. It's hard enough on fresh tires, so being on old tires, as soon as you shift to third, it seems like it just wants to snap on you, and thankfully it held pretty good for me.
It did indeed, man. It managed to keep you in a good spot, a good play, and I can tell you from the replay what happened was I think Rick might have spun him just a hint and ended up driving him to the left a little bit, ended up getting into Coleman and spun him out. So
Yeah, it was one of those deals. It's a tight track as it is, so I mean you're gonna make contact from time to time.
for sure there, but nevertheless, you guys obviously putting on a pretty good show and putting up a pretty good battle here with these super lates on a track that, with as much history to do the super lates as it can be, you kind of marked yourself down in territory system for that as well. So Carter, I'm going to ask you, man, who do you want to thank you for this finish here tonight?
Just gotta thank you guys for hosting the session. Thank everybody for having me, and just gotta thank the league for putting on a good show week in and week out.
For sure there, Carter. Great to have you back on board. Congratulations on your race win here tonight at Five Flags.
All right, thank you, man.
Absolutely. Carter Matt Casey, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here tonight in the number 2 Budweiser machine, and that's going to about wrap it up here tonight for the first race of the night. We have one more in store for you. Yes, I said one more. We are going to be live with the RTC Cup Series. They're going to a track that I'm very curious to see how that package is going to handle. It's Talladega Super Speedway next up on the lineup. You're bound to know there's going to be some 3 wide salutes in there sooner or later, but I'm going to be very curious to see how that draft is going to play into a factor. So all questions to be answered in due time. For now, though, we love you guys. And if you're going to stop and if you're going to tune out for now, thank you for tuning in to PTM Racing TV. We hope you like, follow, and share us here on Facebook. Go and subscribe over on our YouTube. Check out our Twitter and Instagram handles. And we'll catch you next time when the green flag flies right here on PTM Racing TV.